You know what? We were invited to come to the zoo, and we took a tour around the closed area, the restricted area that they're trying to rebuild. And we were told about, you know, how 32 acres of the zoo, it's about 80% of the zoo, was covered in water when the flood hit. And how it got worse and worse and worse. And people that work for the zoo risked their own lives for these animals. We got to do something. It's a non-profit organization. The zoo doesn't make money from this. They feed the animals, they pay their employees, that's it. And so I was like, what can we do that could be a drop in the bucket? And we have a first-class zoo, we have a first-class city. Calgary is amazing. People, when they know that there's need, they step up. And so I just decided I'm going to tell my co-host about it. And she said, well, why don't we put it out to the listeners and find out what they think we should do? So I was like, okay, whatever they come up with, I'm doing. And they said, why don't we put him in a cage and drive him around and he can collect donations? So we came up with this idea of putting me in this glass box on the back of a truck, and the only when I can leave it, I can open it up so I can get fresh air, but I can go and I have to drive it. So I drive this thing all over the place, and I collect donations, and then people can go online as well, and they can donate at KOOL101.5.ca. That's cool with a K. The amazing thing is when you give a chance for people to tell stories, it's so touching. There was a lady who was a refugee that came here 20 years ago, started a business 18 years ago, and she had 2 kids, took them to the zoo all the time. Now she's got growing kids, and she said, you know what? I have been so fortunate. Calgary has been so good to me, and I took my kids to that zoo all the time, and I'm just heartbroken that it was destroyed. Here's $1,000. You know, she just has a small business. And, you know, be it a small business or in a city like this where we have oil and gas and all these very, very wealthy industries, you know, to see people step up. And I just gotta make $50,000, because if I don't make $50,000, I don't get to leave. And right now, I'm starting to smell a little funky, so. What's your favoriteest animal at the zoo?
John's favorite is the giraffe.
The giraffes? You like the big tall giraffes?
Me too.
Yeah?
I do as well.
What do you love about the giraffes?
Well, long necks.
They're pretty tall, right?
And I like butterflies because they fly around. I really wanted to see them today.
And you couldn't see them because of the flood, right?
Right.
We see
That's what Mama said.
And the penguins.
But you're hoping that we can open up the zoo later so that we can see all the animals, right?
Right.
Because I think they miss you guys. Do you miss them?
Yeah, I really like seeing them.
What do you want everybody to do so that the zoo can get back to where it needs to be?
People need to donate money to help the zoo.
2 by 2 rebuild the zoo!